calls or take care. Well, you know, those people may require a call from the president of the commission saying, you know, I am such and such, and, you know, and I want sure.
You know, we had three vehicles.
Right.
I think one is local, two are from out of state.
I know the ones on Little Ugly Creek that they came before the commission before because they didn't want that stream designated a protected stream because they were going to do some take some timber out of there and stuff. We may be able to talk to those people, but I know they said they weren't interested right now.
Well, you know, Rick may know more about this than I do, but people on Little Ugly Creek tell me it's the cleanest stream in West Virginia. I find that hard to believe.
Well, the fact that they came here, the people came here to designate a protected stream, not let them,
Right.
the government did, to not let them cut
That's
those
what I was
timbers.
told.
Right. And I hunt up in that area. I
We
mean, I know
have
it's
one pretty large acreage up there that's, people have a gun club and a hunting club.
right.
They don't want to
I
disturb.
belong to that. Well, and that's the thing though, is that those people, you know, I know they rent it, they lease that and they don't want to not hunt there. But one of the things we were looking at on the Hatfield McCoy trails was changing our bylaws to allow hunting from our trails
Yeah.
in Lincoln County and Wayne County. So, and that's still up in the air right now, and you'll get into that once you get on the board of directors there. But I really think, you know, those people that, we've got to look at the landowners, you know, instead of the people that are leasing land to hunt on. Because I mean, if you go up into 9 miles, the same thing, you know, there are people there that lease the hunting rights, but they don't own the land.
Correct.
And I'm sure that people that come in and hunt do have the economy in mind, but those are local people that are in those clubs. I mean that club you're talking about. And, you know, and when we're talking about that big acreage that you're talking about there, that would really help us in the number of miles we need to get this trail system started if we could get game
Well,
usage.
that's what I think, that we could get someone from Jeff Lusk's outfit there to come down here and go with us, or have a public meeting or somewhere, you know, to talk about these things, because I was talking with a bridge safety inspector that works for the Department of Highways, and he said, anytime we're down in the Manor Gilbert area inspecting a bridge, he said, if we don't have 100 ATVs cross that bridge while we're there, we have to slow down.
Right.
He said, so if people don't think it really works, let them come to Logan County, Mingo County.
All right, I mean, we've seen this, I mean, I could give you numbers and show you that economically, there's nothing going to stimulate our county more than Hatfield and Coy will if we can get here and get it rolling.
I think it's Sam that's on the EDA, Mingo, it's an attorney, and he told me when he first got this thing started, you know, they wanted him to build a cabin, and he just kind of laughed and scoffed at him. And now I think he told me he might have 20-something cabins down there.
Yeah, it's really, you know, we have problems in those counties with people, where the people could stay. If we had the hotels here, we could take the people staying here even if they run the other systems, because they completely fill up the systems in those other counties. I mean, the hotels in the other counties. So if we have those type of things available here, not only would we benefit from people riding our trail system, but we benefit because we'd have them staying here while they were riding the other systems.
You know, now that we know that we're pretty much at a standstill in this time, it would be irresponsible on our part, the commission's part, because I can't see a commission in the state that wouldn't be aggressively going after new industry, especially that attaches recreation to it. Not only do we not have to go after it in the sense that we have to sell the area, it's already going to come if we can just get contracts on. And I've traveled southern West Virginia to the other counties, and when you see all the four-wheelers and the trailers and the license plates from Vermont, Montana, and all these different states, and you know those could be coming to Lincoln County and helping the economy and providing jobs for people here in this county, it bothers you. And it's time, I guess, as you noted, that we get more personal and aggressive and do what it takes.
Well, and
Another big opposition that I find out there is people who already own their ATVs and have the freedom to ride, they think wherever they want to, regardless of whose property it's on. I can't double hit. I like to double hit my wife or.
Well, which you can, you know, on our trails, if you have a four-wheeler that allows you to have two people on it.
Sidecar or whatever, you know.
Well, they do have four-wheelers built now for two that you
Yeah,
can do it. And
the UTVs.
yeah, but they also have a four-wheeler ATVs
Correct.
that have it, that
Correct.
will allow you to
Yeah,
ride
it's
two,
a prop-
and you can ride on our system with those.
It's a
They're
proper
built
machine,
for
but,
it.
you know, they just like to take a standard.
And the thing about a public hearing, we found in the past that we need to get the landowners on board.
Correct.
And then have the public hearing, because what you're gonna have at your public hearing will not only be the landowners and the people that wanna economically develop there, but you'll also get to people that are on people's lands without their permission.
You already got that.
And, well, that's what I'm saying, you'll have those people at that public hearing too, so you need to make sure your landowners are with you, and it's their property, and they're the one that should decide what goes on in their property. And once you get them on board with you, then we bring it to the public and say, because right now, if we went to the public, we could say where the trailhead was, where the trails were, or anything. Once we get things to where we got an idea of what we're gonna do, then we'll have a public meeting and say, and this is what works best, because the landowners already know what's gonna happen. They're not gonna be sued for $1 million if somebody gets killed on their land riding illegally. They know there's not gonna be drunks waiting on them down the road, because a lot of these roads we're talking about are county gravel roads that intersect and things like that. So a lot of the problem with security and law enforcement will be taken care of by Hatfield McCoy too. So I think that is something that they really haven't been approached with, and we need to do a better job of.
And another anti to this proposal is the fact that a lot of the landowners you talk to have had bad experiences with people who ride four-wheelers.
Exactly.
They just go in and don't ask permission, and they just ride, and I've had to run them off my river property to West Hamlin. I came in one day from work, they cut down trees and made them jumps and dug holes. And they said,
You know,
"We thought it was the
Buster
railroad."
used to talk about how they get on his land and everything where he lays
They
his
said, "We
cattle
thought it
out."
was the railroad's property." I said, "It doesn't matter, it's not yours."
How many property owners are we talking about in total?
31 or 32.
Which is about 10 times more than any other county.
Oh, yeah, much more than any other county that I talked to. In the other counties, you have large coal companies and timber companies that own large, and they're all for it. I
Do
mean,
you think that the 6 months is we need to have a decision made at that time?
I think so.
Keep it adequate
I
time?
think so.
I think if we don't do it soon, we're going to kind of be in that situation. We'll be the only county that was originally, this Hatfield McCoy was funded for to develop a trail system that won't have one.
Well, if you look at Boone County, you have, I think, 40 miles of trail, and that's it.
Well,
That's
that,
not expanding.
but the Boone counties, if we look at Boone County, I think, or I do from the Hatfield McCoy perspective, and I've talked to the other members too, as a failure. We didn't have enough trail system. That's what we're not wanting to do in Lincoln County. We want to make sure we've got at least 80 miles of trail, preferably over 100, because that's what people want when they come and ride these trails.
Right.
They go to Boone County, you know, we track how many people goes into each of the trailheads, and we don't have very many repeat people in Boone County. So,
See,
You know, Wayne and Lincoln have the best
Oh, yeah.
lay of land
Absolutely.
of all the counties.
we will have the prettiest trail
We just, in
systems.
the Hatfield Court, we just recently had the first trail connection down the southern part of the state, where now you have 2 trails that are connected, and you can ride from point A all day to point B, spend the night, and ride from point B to
You
point
know,
C.
our plan would be to our plan is to interconnect all trail systems.
Correct.
You know, we would like to make it to where persons could stay at one location and wind up going to any of the trail systems they want. Of course, if some of them, they'd have to have a location somewhere else to stay
Right.
halfway through the trail system because of the length of the trail system. You're talking probably somewhere around 700-800 miles of trails they could travel.
This
So-
is similar to Utah and Idaho, they have these things, similar set.
And one of the things that's helping us back here is Utah and Idaho, the national forest is closing down more to ATVC. Out there now, you can go out in Montana now and ride your ATV through the national forest, but they're closing them down. They're restricting usage, just as we did, because they are getting off on private property off the national forest in Montana is one of the reasons they're cutting down on that. But I know the other western states are kind of going by what our national forest is. You can't take a four-wheeler off a truck in our national forest. And there's a lot of them out there going that way, I think. So that really helps the systems that are run like we run our system.
Okay, moving right along, and are we serious about accept the resignation?
I mean, I could resign at the next meeting. You could just have it on the agenda for me to resign at the next meeting, and we'll appoint him. And then I'm also going to check on what Neil's status is to see if he's going to resign. I think he may resign too.
All right, anything else? Hearing nothing, we accept the motion to adjourn this meeting
So
to the special meeting. Got a motion, second, all yes, we stand adjourned at 11:30.